right. Hey guys, welcome back to DREZZED News on Clownfish TV. For those of you who don't remember, we actually did this live stream over on the gaming channel for a while, and then we stopped doing it. I stopped doing it because live streams weren't getting seen over here. So we're going to talk about kind of the utter state of things, I think, and we got some people coming in here. Awesome. Thank you very much. Let me see here. Yeah, so to reintroduce the live stream, I guess DREZZED is going to be what we don't talk about in full-blown videos. And so we have a lot of odds and ends, and it was originally video game news. And I'm like, there's not a lot of news in video games these days because all the news is usually, gamers don't like new games. Rinse and repeat. Every once in a while a new game comes out, everybody talks about it for a couple of weeks, and then like everybody goes back to playing the old stuff. So I'm just gonna kind of open it up to whatever stuff we don't talk about in regular Clownfish TV videos. I'm also doing this as kind of an experiment because YouTube's doing some really funny stuff, guys. I gotta tell you, we put a video up this morning, and I think YouTube is gonna nuke itself here pretty soon. Things are not looking good. Hello. We got a lot of people here coming in. Thank you very much. Howdy. So it's going to be a very interesting couple of months. I think we have a lot of bigger YouTubers that are saying that they're seeing massive declines on the platform. So it's not just us being crazy. People think we're talking out of our asses or whatever. Here, we'll just switch over here. And that's not actually the case. What's actually going on is YouTube, I think, is chasing after shorts and AI, and I think they're going to nuke a lot of channels in the process. So it's like, I guess my thing is like, if all your eggs are in the YouTube basket, you're kind of screwed. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that. Hello, we got people coming in. Don't forget to like stream. Yeah, so this is kind of an experiment. I want to see if we stream on the main channel, because we were streaming on the gaming channel. If YouTube likes that better, I don't know. See if you guys like it better, because it doesn't matter. Frankly, it doesn't matter what YouTube thinks. What matters is whether or not you guys want to watch us live. So I was thinking about doing this as a morning show, maybe, because a lot of people aren't streaming in the morning because you have to compete with like 90,000 other people streaming. Everything has changed so much since we started doing this. Like everybody's freaking streaming. Like you got the cat stream, somebody's freaking cat streaming. My cousin is streaming. My mom's streaming. Everybody's streaming, and there's like no break, right? There's like no break in the streaming. So it's like, hey, yeah, maybe we can squeeze in an hour between these. No, these people are streaming like freaking 19 hours a day. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna stream when I want to stream, and you guys can decide if you want to watch it. I hope you do. If you don't, well, then I gotta do something else, I guess, right? Lucas says YouTube made itself extinct. Yeah. No, I think they definitely screwed up, and we told you guys. Like, look, I don't want to be that guy. Everybody's like, you're always like, I told you so. No, I did tell you this was going to happen because we saw it happen with websites too. They did this with websites. That they decided they were going to use AI to decide what to show people, and they basically nuked a bunch of smaller websites in the process. And we got caught up in that, and we got it kind of straightened out now, but it took us a long time to figure out, how it worked. Hey, Fresher Luke's here. Check out his work. He does really good work, guys. I'm a huge fan. Yeah, he's been on the podcast before. So we have, they have some new features here since I was streaming. You can actually show, it's like Twitch, you can actually show the comments on the side. But I got some news pulled up here. We'll talk about that, and we're just going to kind of talk about the utter state of things. I've been trying to push people over to news.clownfishtv.com, and like a freaking idiot, I don't have it pulled up because I'm not good at live streams, which is why I don't stream very often. But let's see if we can't pull it up here for you. Oh, look, hey, I'm streaming over there too. Look at that. If you go out to news.clownfishtv.com, you can see when we post videos, we will actually send you an email notification. And so if you don't like to be annoyed, don't sign up for the email notification. We'd like you to, but if you don't want to, that's okay too. And also we've got some paywalled content where basically we moved our memberships off of YouTube and then moved them We had Fourth Wall for a while, and that was kind of a disaster. I didn't like them very much, and nobody was getting notified of anything, and it was very, very hard to use their system. And I was like, yeah, well, let's just go Substack. Everybody's their own Substack. So you sign up for notifications. When we drop a new video, we'll put a link to it, and then you guys will get an email. So you might get like 3 or 4 emails a day if you don't mind that. That's all right. Yeah, dead internet theory. Yeah, Google's next Yahoo. I'm starting to wonder, guys. Yeah, this is me. I'm actually live. Look at that. People are like, oh my God, you're live. No, we used to go live on the gaming channel all the time. And I'll tell you what happened. Actually, again, go out to news.clownfishtv.com because I have to keep pimping that. No, actually what happened was we moved a couple of years ago, and, we thought because we got a bigger house that we would be able to stream more, and it turned out that it was actually really noisy. and then we collected a couple of more dogs, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is not going to work. So, we basically had to get to a place where we actually could, set up a space to stream again. And, the cap's not green. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's okay. Live Neo. Is it soundproof? Yeah, it's hard. We should have. I have, like I said, I tell people we have other businesses. I actually have other businesses. This is one of my other businesses, and this is like the back room in the other business. So that's where we're at for now, guys. And, but it does work. And I get to bring all my toys here and show them off. Yeah. So anyway, we got some news, and this is going to be a very unstructured stream because I'm still trying to get back in the habit. But we got like 200 and some people on YouTube watching. I don't know. We are sending this out to X as well, and I think Rumble. So if you guys are, nope, Rumble's not working. Rumble's down. Yeah, I can't get Rumble is hard to stream to unless you're like using their platform. So it's like, but they don't promote you unless you're actually streaming over there. So, hey Travis, holy moly, holy moly, there we go. How you doing? I'm okay. I'm all right. We have a lot of stuff going on over here, which is why the upload schedule has been sporadic too. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. So we're gonna, I guess we're gonna cover some news here, right? That's what you're here for. And then I'm trying to figure out what to do with these streams. Like if I'm going to re-upload them I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see if you guys like it. Cause if I do this and start doing this like every day, cause I was thinking, well, maybe I'll do it for like an hour every morning or something, just to kind of, start the day off and get you guys up to speed on, or you guys can get me up to speed on what's going on. But if it turns out that you guys absolutely freaking hate it, I just won't do it. I'll just be like, you know what? I'm not going to stream anymore. Nobody likes it. They hate me and my fat head, my fat face. They don't want to watch me. Well, Archer wants to watch me. There you go. Thank you, Archer. Archer Merchant, longtime fan. Thoughts on the Vampire Bloodlines 2 sequel? Looks like BioShock. I haven't really looked into it that much. I'm going to have to look into it though. Yeah. BioShock. I think those guys aren't they working for Hasbro or something now? They're like betting, like literally betting the farm on, like a AAA title when AAA gaming's dying. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? All right. So let's, get that. We got started. Oh, we got another one. Oh my God. You guys don't have to give me money. That's okay. Really. You don't have to give me money, but I appreciate it, but you don't have to give me money. Waifu for life in Canadian dollars, no less. Sup, Kneon, how are the kids? Happy I can listen to you in the background while playing Phantasy Star Online. Oh my God. Yeah. So Phantasy Star is actually my favorite RPG series of all time. I'm a huge Phantasy Star fan. And I'm actually very salty. This other company picked up the rights to Phantasy Star to do a tabletop game. Because I was like, well, once we get Adventure Engine out, I'm going to look for some licenses. And I'm like, I want Phantasy Star. And I'm like, damn it. Somebody else took it. So congratulations. But no, I would love to play Phantasy Star Online. I haven't touched it in years. I was going to play 2, but then Sega's community manager is like batshit insane. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to. But yeah, no, congrats. I love Phantasy Star Online. So good. What's this here? Are the community rules from you or YouTube? I think they're YouTube's. I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what happened. So we started getting, this is a whole thing, since we're talking about the utter state of things. We talk about the utter state. This is one of those videos where I'm like, I'm gonna quit YouTube because no, this is like we started getting attacked by bots. I don't know what the hell is going on, but like a couple of months ago, you guys have noticed that we've got all kinds of like sex bots in the comments. I don't know where the hell they are coming from, or if it's just like a YouTube thing or what, but like we started getting all these bots. And so we talked to our YouTube person, because we have a person over there and she's actually very cool. And we said, hey, what do we do about the bots? And she said, well, you're gonna have to tighten your grip on your community. And I'm like, well, you guys already censor like freaking half the people want to leave comments. You guys already censor them. So I guess they added new community guidelines and stuff too. And they don't get rid of the bots. Actually, they get rid of some of you guys. They don't get rid of the bots. It's the stupidest damn thing. God, you guys are like leaving more comments than I can keep up with. This is why 340 people. That's not bad. That's not bad. Here's some money, says Unit 731. Well, thank you. You really didn't have to do that. Let's see here. Oh boy, I'm gonna mess this up. Paradolia. Here's to not woke LGBTQIA plus ultra bullshit. I think even I'm gonna get this wrong. LGBT people are getting tired of the representation because a lot of it's pandering and a lot of it's just not good. Like I wouldn't want to be represented by not good stuff. I remember back in the day, I believe it or not, I told people this story. I was, believe it or not, I was actually looking at being a pastor when I was a teenager. I would have been absolutely terrible at it because I would have told somebody to just, suck it up and whatever. It's just not your day, I guess. I don't have any empathy. But no, I remember like a lot of the Christian entertainment choices back there were not very good. They're very ham-fisted. And Christians are like, it's because Satan hates us. So I'm like, no, it's because your movies suck and your music sucks. And your comic books suck. It all sucks. That's the problem. That's why people don't like it. That's why they're not watching it. Junkie Vendor says, love when you talk about the comic book industry. Yeah, it's not much to talk about. I was gonna... I must be AI. I am AI. I'm gonna talk about AI. I've got a bunch of stuff pulled up. And I'm sorry if I'm missing people's comments here because there's like a lot of people are just like zinging off comments. But yeah, what's this here? Seth says these bots are here to censor us. Change my mind. I think the bots are. I don't know what they're here for. I think that part of it's. I'm wondering. I'm looking at the situation with Twitch, and I'm seeing that like. They're saying that the traffic is inflated, and part of me is like, is YouTube doing the same thing? I have no idea. Is YouTube doing the same thing? Are they trying to inflate the traffic so they can be like, record engagement, guys, record engagement. Hey, advertisers, we got to charge you more. I have no idea. No idea what's going on. So we got lots of stuff here. Who wants to be baptized by Kneon? Nobody. Nobody wants to be baptized by me. I'll tell you the truth. Talking about comics. I wore a Batman t-shirt to my own baptism. It didn't go very well. And that's why I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I'm really cut out for this. Because I'm like, I mean, if you're going to get all hung up on the guy wearing a Batman t-shirt, because that's like his favorite t-shirt. Oh, well. Okay. We're doing live streams. Let's do this. Let's see here. I don't know how people do this every day. I want to see Geeky. Yeah, I'm actually like, I might VTuber Geeky. I'm like, you know what? If you're self-conscious, I'll just make you like a VTuber. That'd be kind of fun. Hey, speaking of Geeky, let's go out to her. Let's see here. If I can pull this up. There we go. Her pins, which are kicking all kinds of ass on Kickstarter. Just went up again. So I didn't expect them to do that well. I mean, I expected them to do well. I didn't expect them to do that well. Like, I was like, oh, they're Halloween pins. Pins are kind of eh. But you guys are awesome. And, check it out on Kickstarter. She's doing really well on those. Yeah, we got lots of stuff to talk about. Actually, I can show you here real quick because we have the pins in for the orcs. They turned out pretty good. I like Arson Orc. This is like Antifa orc, but they have our little logo on the back. Yeah, we got that one. We got, where's, oh, there we go. Titty orc. She's got, well, yep. So we got lots of pins. So that's what these are going to look like, except they're going to glow in the dark. But they're good. It's the same people that make the Disney pins. So that's kind of cool. All right. Let's see what we got here. Oh my God, guys, you guys just keep on super chatting. Thank you. You don't have to do that. And I feel bad. Part of the reason I don't live stream very often is I feel like a lot of the, I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade at other YouTubers at all, but I sometimes feel like it's like, okay, I'm just like, playing music on the street here for change in the copy, And it's like, I want to actually give you guys news and information you can use. But thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I really do. Where were we on here? I'll read a couple more of these and then I'll get into actual news. Trialfest says, love the Prime collection back. Yeah, Geeky and the kids got me Power Master Prime. I'm going backwards. There he is. And he's in like C9 condition. He's beautiful. He was my favorite Transformer when I was a kid because I never had the original Optimus Prime, but I had Power Master Optimus Prime. I love Power Master Optimus Prime. Yeah, I know his name's God Jinray, okay? People are going to get on me for that. TRS Chaos says, thank you very much. Have you ever played Infernax? It's like Zelda 2 and Castlevania 2 had a baby that was actually smart and fun to play. No, I have not. I might have to check into that. I like indie games. I play a lot more indie games now than I do mainstream games. I too have a Batman t-shirt. I've got silver. Actually, I don't have as many t-shirts as I used to. Thank you very much, guys. I'm just going to kind of go through some of these here. Okay. Okay, you guys are awesome. You're leaving like all kinds of comments here. I will get back to the comments. I swear. Let's actually show some of the news stories. I've got like a ton of news stories pulled up here. So this was I was going to do a video on this the other day. They're really mad about Barry Weiss, and like I don't care what you think about Barry Weiss. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like people think we're trying to push like our political opinions or whatever, and my political opinions are actually very easy to understand and they're very mild. I don't give a shit what you do in your personal life as long as it's not hurting anybody else. And I do tend to be fiscally conservative. I think that people who work for a living should get to keep as much of that money as possible, and people who refuse to work probably shouldn't get other people's money. Or at least not as much of it unless it's an absolute emergency. I don't believe in wealth redistribution. So my politics are actually pretty easy to follow, right? People don't like Barry Weiss because she was part of the establishment. She was New York Times editor, and then she went out on her own. And I know when she went out on her own, we had a bunch of people saying, well, Rogan made her look dumb or whatever. I don't know. She built up the free press, which is worth like $1 kajillion. And yeah, Bryce, that's kind of my feeling on things. So she went out and built up the free press, and now CBS is buying it for like $200 million. And they're so angry about this because they're going to put her in charge of CBS News. So she got pushed out of the New York Times for being a wrong thinker. And she's not even conservative. She's actually liberal. She's Jewish, she's gay, she's a feminist, and she wasn't left wing enough. So that just kind of shows you where everything's at right now. So this is why we talk about this stuff, because we have a lot of people that historically would have been on the left who kind of got pushed. Well, nobody got pushed to the right, but they moved the Overton window, right? They moved the goalpost. So CBS is going to pay $200 million for the free press, and they're going to put her at the top of it. At CBS News, and they're so pissed. I love this. So this is like grifter basically means anybody who makes any money doing or saying something that I don't agree with. That's all grifter means anymore. It doesn't mean it used to be like somebody who was actually committing fraud, or it was a scam or a Ponzi scheme, which most of these mainstream media outlets are participating in Ponzi schemes, advertising schemes. Propping up people with millions of dollars that just aren't bringing it, and then buying views and all this other bullshit. But no. Call the independent voices. Call them the grifters, right? They're all scamming advertisers. Call them the grifters. Vile grifters are taking over establishment media from the nation. Oh my God. So this is what Barry Weiss has been making the world worse for a long time. They loved her. They loved her until she turned on them. They're talking about her running a smear campaign against professors who criticized Israel. Again, she's Jewish. She's, I mean, right? She constantly hawked right-wing bile while posing as a liberal who was just tired of all the extremism and censorship on the left. A tedious bait and switch that nevertheless sent her media profile soaring. She was one of them. Again, we're talking about an out lesbian, feminist, and liberal Jewish woman, but she wasn't left wing enough, and she basically got pushed out of the New York Times. She was just pretending, guys. She was just pretending to be gay, I guess. I don't know. If we lived in a less terrible time and place, Weiss would be dismissed as a crank and a bigot and never heard from again. But we live in the waking nightmare that is the United States in 2025. So instead, Weiss is being rewarded with a prize that even she must think is kind of wild. She gets CBS News, guys. She gets to be in charge of CBS News. The person handing this gift to Weiss is David Ellison, the billionaire Nepo baby who just merged CBS News parent company Paramount with his company Skydance. And Ellison, Puck's Dylan Byers reported on Wednesday, is paying somewhere between $100 million to $200 million to buy Weiss's basically Substack newsletter out, install her at the top of the network. Oh, God. They're just like, basically it's a lot of cope. I was reading this the other day and they're just like, you're calling them by their first names. So what? Oh God. I'm not here to pretend that CBS News is the greatest thing in journalism. It's a big corporately owned establishment media organization. It hasn't exactly covered itself in glory over the past year. It hasn't exactly covered itself. Okay. Whether we're talking about morning show anchor Tony Dukoppel losing his mind because Ta-Nehisi Coates wouldn't say how awesome Israel is. Did that happen? Was that a thing? Why is Ta-Nehisi Coates talking about Israel on CBS News? Or the appalling decision by the network's bosses to grease the wheels of the Skydance merger by essentially bribing Donald Trump. But that doesn't make the Weiss move any less disturbing. Whatever CBS News currently is, it isn't just some hate factory pumping out shoddy propaganda 24/7. I love this. So I've told you guys a story. I've told you guys a story that I actually started out as a newspaper editor. I was a journalist. I was like a real journalist doing journalism and going out and talking to people. And then I worked my way up to managing editor of a paper. And then I noped out in my late 20s because I saw everything was collapsing and I got into online publications and web development. And I did a thing as a DJ for a while. That was the whole thing. But there aren't many real journalists left, right? There really aren't. Actually, the best new show I've seen in a long time, check it out, The Paper. The Paper. I started watching it the other night. I'm like, I think I'm going to like this one. It's the people behind The Office, but it's a dying Ohio newspaper. It's actually pretty damn good and accurate. It's very accurate. But these people are pissed. Look, I'll tell you why they're pissed. It's real easy. It's real easy. People like Barry Weiss, who are new media, are taking their biscuit. They're drinking their milkshake. You know, whatever euphemism you want to use. Sucking their hot dog. I don't know. But it's quite the upheaval, and it happened so quickly, didn't it? I mean, it's amazing. We went from every I would say conservative voice, but every voice that wasn't super far left, being banned, to now all these people that you tried to cancel were running everything. Congratulations. Part of the reason they're running everything is because you tried to cancel them. Congratulations. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, guys. Man, you guys are just like chatting away here. Look at that. It's still full of radical activists. Yeah, it is. It is. So it's so weird though when they're like, "Oh my God, we're slightly less radical, and the world is ending." What kind of a hellscape is 2025 anyway? That we bring somebody in that's trying to be fair and balanced. Oh my God, guys! Oh my God. Yeah, everything is just crazy. So there's that, and then let's see. Speaking of media, figured this was gonna happen. Howard Stern ain't going anywhere, guys. He's actually got a big fat deal over at Sirius, and I don't believe that's his real hair. He's like, what, 80 years old? Nah. It's like, I don't believe it at all. Yeah. So they were trying to say he was going to cancel the show. I think he drummed this up himself. Like, oh my God, guys, they're going to cancel Howard Stern. Psych. He's going to get like another $500 million or whatever. Like, I mean, seriously, like, I mean, at that point, the money doesn't even mean anything. It's kind of like you get to you play a role playing game and you've got like 9,999,999 gold pieces or GP or gil or whatever. It doesn't mean anything. It's at that point you make like, what's another $100 million? It doesn't mean anything. And people still aren't going to watch them. So, I mean, again, you can't say that like there's no balance when people like Howard Stern are still getting ridiculous paychecks, right? It's not like Trump personally went through every media outlet and like fired everybody. And, as we said before with CBS, they were all pissed off about Colbert getting canceled, saying he got canceled because he was critical of Trump. I'm like, have you bitches watched South Park lately? I mean, seriously, the difference is South Park brings ratings. I don't know if their ratings are as good, but South Park brings it. You guys don't bring it. That's what's going on. I want to see geeky face reveal on her Twitter. Her Twitter's got her face on it. I'm seriously, I might turn her into a VTuber. That'd be kind of funny. I'd do the VTuber thing. I mean, it's weird enough having a cartoon avatar. Have I seen Power Rangers in space? Yes, I have. It was actually very good. Lost Galaxy was very good too. He looks weird just like Michael Jackson. Yeah, he does. Did we get more super chat? God, you guys. All right, here we go. More. And I hope I don't miss anybody. Corruption Point says AI is called slop. We're going to talk about that, but people have produced garbage on YouTube for ages. It's a double standard at this point. I'm going to talk about AI. I might actually, maybe I'll bump that up because that whole conversation is really weird. Like I'm being 100% honest. I don't give a shit if you like AI or hate AI. I don't care. And you're allowed to make things however you want to make them. You're allowed to buy things or not buy things. You know, if it comes out that it's AI and you hate it, and you don't have to buy it any more than, if your religious beliefs prevent you from eating pork or whatever it is, like I'm saying, I'm not going to make you buy AI if you don't want to buy AI. That being said, the links that people are going to cancel people, that they're even lying about their processes or trying to get them, like we talked about the Disney artist guy, and his name sounds familiar. I don't know him, but he is a licensed Disney artist. He's been doing it for decades. I think it's James C. Mulligan. And the person that tried to cancel him was some amateur anime Tumblr artist, and she went to his table and she was like, show me your process video or your speed draw. And he's like, I don't have it. And she's like, oh, it's clearly AI. And so she went on this witch hunt. Well, I went out and I checked her portfolio, and she sucks. Kiki actually looked into her, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be a dick. You're probably like 16 or 17 years old, but you're not that good. You really aren't that good. So really what I think it's about, and in a lot of cases, not every case, is I think it's about eliminating the competition. That is my personal opinion. I think there's a lot of sour grapes because they know when push comes to shove that if somebody is presented with a really kick-ass piece, the consumer, for the most part, if given a choice, doesn't care. The people that care are the artists who are looking at an existential crisis. And I'm sorry, I really am, but that's not the consumer's problem. It really isn't the consumer's problem. And I'm not trying to be a dick. It's like AI is going to march on whether or not you agree with it. It doesn't matter. It's already, I can tell you, I talked to a lot of people. It's already being adopted at a breakneck pace. I'm not telling you have to like it, but I am telling you that holding your breath until you turn blue, everybody's going to step right over you. So you're better off just trying to do better to compete against it than you are trying to stop it, because you're not going to stop it. That's my rant on it. Thank you very much, Sally. Thank you very much. Longtime viewer, your ongoing analysis of Disney as a company is what got me into investing. Awesome. I'm glad you're investing. I wouldn't invest in Disney right now. You know, I sold all my Disney stock. Like, I think it was like $180 a share or something like that. And yeah, because I'm like, you know what? I don't think they're ever going to go this high again. Not for a long time. Not for a long time. So I noped out. And yeah, if you guys can invest. By God, you know, please. Thank you very much for that, by the way. And I'm very glad to hear that you're taking your financial future seriously. That's why I'm like, you know, maybe seriously being on YouTube's not the way, not the way to go. No, we got some other stuff that we do. Thank you very much, though. Joshua Davis says, hey, I'm glad to catch you streaming. I've watched and enjoyed your videos for years at this point. Thank you for giving me some sanity and woohoos all time. Thank you, Kneon and Geeky. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. We used to do live streams all the time. I just don't really do it, but I'm thinking it might be more efficient to just throw all the news into a bucket and do like an hour-long show a day in the morning or something. You know, then we'll still do the regular videos, because, you know, some topics warrant a 20-minute video and some of them warrant like 20 seconds. Like, oh, hey, this dumb thing happened. I'm like, yeah, I can't really get 10 minutes out of that. So I'm like, do we want to bore people or not? Stuart here. Thank you very much, Stuart. Are you going to see Demon Slayer Infinity Castle when it comes out in theaters? Maybe. Yeah, we saw the Mugen Train. We saw that. That was actually the first movie I think we saw after the pandemic. I'm pretty sure it was. I think the last movie we saw before we went into lockdown was Sonic. And then I'm pretty sure Demon Slayer was the first one we saw afterwards, if I remember correctly. Do a stream and then clip segments. That is the plan. That is the plan. And I'm so sorry if I'm missing a bunch of comments here, guys. I'm sure I am. Okay, so yeah, the Howard Stern's one. Like, I don't really give a shit about Howard Stern, but you know, he got his deal re-upped. This was really interesting. So this is it Greg Sipes? Is that how you pronounce his name? He is the voice actor, was the voice actor of Beast Boy for many years, and he was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and he claims that Warner Brothers fired him because he had Parkinson's and his performance, I guess, wasn't quite up to snuff anymore. I mean, geez, when you have a disease like Parkinson's, imagine that your performance might take a hit because of it. But yeah, he's been trying to get fans to rally to get him back. Apparently, they created a new character for him or something, but they were tagging James Gunn in on it, and then a lot of stuff came out. Like, I mean, this is kind of weird. I mean, it's sad. I mean, it's a sad situation. Parkinson's is horrible. Parkinson's, ALS, any neurological disorder where you feel like you're trapped in your body. And you know, it's just, it's horrible. It really is. But yeah, he was fired on Valentine's Day, and I guess he found out that he had Parkinson's at the same time. So he found out he had Parkinson's, and then boom, he got fired from Warner Brothers. He's claiming it's because they're like, oh yeah, you're gonna wind up like Michael J. Fox, and you know, it's not going to go well. But they said an individual close to the situation painted the circumstances of Sykes' exit in a different light, telling the Wrap, this comes from the Wrap, obviously, telling the Wrap that when producers approached him about stepping down from the role due to performance issues, again, probably tied to having a massively debilitating disease, they offered to create a new character for him and began talks with his agent on a development deal to keep him involved. This individual insisted Sipes was not fired because he has Parkinson's, but because his performance was not up to the level that producers needed for Beast Boy. Well, again, he's been doing the role for 20 years, and Parkinson's. I mean, your speech is affected. Sipes has recorded a couple of scripts featuring the new character, and the development deal is still being negotiated. Okay. So yeah, he was part of the original cast back in 2003. That's one thing I wish they would bring back, is the original the original Teen Titans is so much better than Go. Like Go's not, it's okay, I guess, for kids, but like the original Teen Titans even was kind of for kids, but it was good. It's a little bit different. Yeah, so let's see what we got. Man, you guys are just like chatting away here. I'm trying to keep up. I'm not good. I'm really not good at the live stream thing. I'm really not good at it, but we'll get there. All right. Turn Revive says, Pastor, this is your baptism, Kneon, not a batism. Yeah, it was. Yeah, when I walked in, it wasn't even like the regular Batman shirt. It was, this would have been in the 90s. So I think I had the Nightfall logo one. I still remember that shirt. I love that shirt. That round gold Batman logo with the god awful Asbats costume where it was like, I don't even know what the hell. It was the most 90s thing ever. But I was really into it. So I'm like, yeah, we have an edgier Batman. Yeah, now that I'm old, I'm like, can we just like roll Batman back to what he was in the 70s and call it a day? I guess the new Batman is pretty good. But Lucas, thank you. You don't have to do that. All we can do is overcome and adapt. Yes, because we're on our own and the cavalry isn't coming to save any of us. It's time to get creative. No, I agree 100%. I tell people this. Everybody thinks like, if we can just do this or we can just pressure this company into that or whatever. I'm like, it doesn't work that way. Right? Like it doesn't work that way. It's like once a change, if we're talking AI, once a change like AI is introduced into the mix, it's like, there's no stopping it. And you can pressure companies into dropping it or whatever, but there's going to be 5 more companies that pop up. They're like, yeah, I don't have a problem with it. You know, we're going to make things a lot cheaper. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Maximum profit. So, I mean, there really isn't there's no hiding from it. You just have to figure out, what you can do with it. And if you don't want to do anything with it, there are other career fields, which I talked about. Check out Peter Pischke's podcast, Culture Escape. I talked to him for about 2 hours a couple of weeks ago. And he just got up recently, but I'm trying to make the rounds of more podcasts. And I need to get a hold of Fresher Luke, by the way. I know I owe you an appearance. I just haven't. It's been so busy, man. But Peter's podcast, we talked about it, and we said, look, sometimes you have to realize that everything comes to an end. And I'm not trying to be like doom and gloom, but like things end. And sometimes you just have to move on to something else. And sometimes it takes like an industry-wide shift, a change in technology to kind of push you out the door. And also, you need to not put have your entire identity wrapped up in a thing that you do. And this is coming from a dad. So if some of you out there are a little bit younger listening to this, like you don't want your identity tied up in what you do for a living, because this is where a lot of I think the weirdness comes from in the pop culture space. Is people, their whole identity is like, I'm a fan, or I'm an artist, or I'm a writer. And if that's taken from me, what do I got? Well, hopefully you got more than that, because we're all very complicated beings. And, if your entire identity is wrapped up in like one thing and you get that taken from you, you're not going to be in a good place mentally. And a lot of these people are not in a good place mentally. And I think that's why they're freaking out so much. So since we're talking about it, maybe we can, see, I had this pulled up. Where was the AI stuff? There it is. Here it is. Fan conventions are drawing a line on AI slop. So now it's trendy to remove anybody who may or may not have produced AI content. And again, if you own a convention and those are your rules, you don't want AI, because like we've been to shows like craft shows and stuff, and they said, hey, you got to make your own stuff. Like if you're a basket weaver, you got to make the basket yourself. We want to see you weaving the baskets. We don't want you buying the baskets from Temu. That's fair. I mean, if those are the rules, that's fair. All I've been trying to say is if your whole moral objection is that AI is art theft, and why are you letting these people here at these walls of prints, is like characters they don't own and they're making like thousands of dollars in a weekend. Why are you letting them exhibit, but not the AI people, right? So I think what's going to happen is eventually all this stuff is going to get banned. I think eventually what will happen is Artist Alley will probably shrink even more than it has. I know some conventions I've been to, there's barely an Artist Alley. And Artist Alley, you can't really tell the difference from it and like the company booths. So sad to watch. Oh, I'm not down. Sad to watch how down Kneon is. I'm not that down. The whole entertainment industry is being restructured. Are you talking with AI? I'm not down with it. I'm like, I think it's a useful tool. I think that it's inevitable. And I'm also, in my late 40s. Shocker. I talk about the 80s. People are like, how old are you? It's like, bitch, I talked about being a kid in the 80s. How old do you think I am? But it's inevitable. And I've been through this. I've been through this so many times. Again, I started out in newspapers and I went to the internet. And then when that changed, I went on to something else. For me, it's Tuesday. Like it literally, for me, AI is just a Tuesday. And you're talking to a guy who worked in comics. You're talking to a guy who worked as a graphic designer. Everything changes. And I think this is the first big, this is a huge change, but I think it's the first big change that a lot of younger creatives have seen. And I think a lot of artists especially thought they were immune to the march of progress. And I can tell you that is not the case at all. And I think that part of me is disappointed because I think artists and writers thought they were above it all. And this is coming from a guy who makes stuff, right? This goes along with putting your entire identity into what you do or what you can do. And I think that people, when they have that taken from them, they react very badly. But I also think that there was a subclass of people who thought they were above it. Like, well, I'm a creator, I'm an actor, I'm an artist. I'm like, well, la-di-da, it's like, look, you're talking to a guy who makes stuff. You're talking to a guy who's worked for Disney. You're talking to a guy done all this shit. And at the end of the day, it's a gig. It's a gig. It's a thing you do. And technology changes. And I'm not, screaming about it's not going to change anything. If anything, it's going to make them adopt it faster. And that's what I've seen. And I said before about the strikes, I said, if you guys go on strike, you all go on strike at once, and the technology is there to replace you now. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Because they got shareholders they got to answer to. They got salaries they got to pay. They're going to do what they have to do, right? And that's exactly what happened. Now they're like, oh my God, guys, they can't believe they just stepped on over. I'm like, of course they did. Dumbass, of course they did. It's like it's business, right? It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal, right? Again, I'm not trying to be like, I don't know. I just think it's so weird. I don't like, look, I'll tell you a thing. I don't like the people out there, and I've seen them on X that are hot dogging it, like rubbing it in people's faces. Like, you're going to be obsolete. I'm just telling you as somebody who has worked in creative industries for years that, it's inevitable. This is like the Toy Story 3 moment, right? We're all sliding into the incinerator, and it's like, you need to find something else to do as a backup. I think that's for everybody. And, there are a lot of people that are going to be, on their backs looking up when YouTube changes and be like, oh my God, guys, I've been a YouTuber my whole adult life. I'm like, and now you're not. So you're going to have to adapt, right? I agree with Lucas 100%. This actually happened. Yowzer79. I'm old enough to remember this. I actually worked with a guy at my one newspaper. He worked in composing when composing was typesetting, when he used to actually set the damn plates to shoot that, to film it, to go to the press. And he made the jump into working with computers. He was about the only one from his department that did. Everybody else just kind of screamed about it, and it didn't do any good. And he kept his job and they didn't. And that happened with comics too. When computer color was introduced, when digital inking was introduced, some people kept their jobs, they just adapted, and other people didn't. And they scream about it, and they screamed about it for years. I know, like, when I was doing touch-ups in computer color and stuff on the Disney comics, and I was doing it in like the late 90s, early 2000s, and there were people that were mad at me because they were like, well, that's not real art because it was done with a computer. And I'm like, so what I'm saying is I've seen this happen so many times already that for me, it's just like, it's a Tuesday, I don't know what Yeah, that's how I kind of feel about it. And you know, it's just, it is what it is. Um, I'm not delighting in people losing their jobs. Even like when we talk about, you know, these different news outlets letting people go, you know, collapsing or whatever. It's like, I'm not happy those people are losing their jobs unless they were miserable pieces of shit. Like, I don't want you to lose your job just because I don't agree with your political opinions. Again, unless you're an absolutely horrible person, um, you know, I don't want anybody to lose their jobs, right? And it's the same with this too. Like, I don't want anybody to lose their jobs. I'm just telling you, it's like, it's gonna happen. So you can either learn to work with it, or, you know, you're gonna get taken out by progress. And it's just the way it works. Ask anybody in any industry ever. It's just, it never has happened in the creative industry this quickly, which is what's throwing people. Joshua says, Kneon, we love you with your base takes. I'm just old. You give a realistic take on AI. If you ever do reaction videos, there's an 11-year-old video called Humans Need Not Apply by a channel named CGP Gray. I'm going to have to look into that. Yeah, I'm not trying to be, and again, I'm not trying to be a dick. I keep saying that, but people are always like, they always take the worst thing. And I'm not, again, you know, you're talking to a dad. Like, I'm not like, yeah, I can't wait till you losers all lose your jobs, you wokety woke wokes, or whatever the fuck, you know, I'm supposed to, is that what I'm supposed to say on a stream? Does that get me more super chats? Is that what, it's like, no, but I don't want people to lose their jobs. I'm just telling you, it's inevitable. And this is overkill. I think my thing is like, if, again, back to the point, this is what happens when you do a live stream, is you kind of go off in different directions here, but like, if you laid down the rules at the convention and it's your convention and you said, we don't want AI art here, we don't want, copyright infringement here, you don't want anything like that, that's fine. You're within your rights to do that, right? It's your convention, your rules. You can keep out whoever you want to, and they can complain about it. And it may not be fair, but it's a private business, it is what it is. What I have a problem with is this witch hunt shit that's going on. Because we're getting this guy, the Disney guy, supposedly he even ran his own 2014 art through the AI detector, and it said that there's a 99% chance it was AI. So and now it's like, oh, you gotta have a process video and you gotta do this. And this Tumblrite that went after him, and this is above and beyond the Dragon Con thing. Dragon Con thing is like crazy too. But the Tumblrite that went after the Disney artist, did so with malicious intent. And that's what they're doing. And then you always look, and this is the thing, it's not always the case, but 99% of the time, 99% of the time, you look into the person that's having a shit fit about AI, you look at their portfolio and they suck. They're not that good, and they know they can't compete. And that's really what the issue is. I mean, they can try to disguise it however they want to disguise it, and I'm doing it for moral reasons and blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, you are afraid to compete with art that is so much better than yours, even if it's machine made. And rather than work on your own art to compete, to be able to compete, you just want to tear other people down. And what's happening is we're getting people caught up in this net. They're not using AI. And it's ridiculous. Every damn thing you do, I'm just going to get to the point where I'm going to be like, you know what? Fuck it. Everything I do, even this shit I draw with a pencil that you watch me draw, it's AI, bitch. Cancel me. It's like everything I do is made by a machine. I'm not even doing this video of me drawing this thing with a pencil. That was all done with AI too. And actually, it can be done with AI. I'm like, you know what? Just, you're already going to assume the worst. Just whatever. Steve says AI can't replace a good story. AI can't replace catching lightning in a bottle. I agree. All the CGI today looks like someone just discovered Photoshop and all the effects you can use. No, that actually is true. So this is what I tell people too. I'm like, just because AI is going to speed up production doesn't mean that the human component can be taken out of it. And that's when I'm talking about using AI. I'm not talking about let's just get rid of all artists. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can have a team of 10 people put out a Hollywood level movie with the assistance of AI, but you still need 10 talented people to do that. The people that are having the problem are the other 90 people or 9,000 people that would have been needed. They're no longer needed, but a lot of them were just kind of not necessary to begin with. And that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah, it's just like, there's no way to win this thing. All I'm saying is, Everything is changing. Crunchyroll is laying people off. Did we cover this? It feels like we covered this. But they're doing a refocus now, an international growth refocus, and they're laying people off. Crunchyroll was one before they got bought by Sony. They had the damn cherry blossom tree in their food court, and their ridiculously expensive, like $25,000 a month San Francisco offices. You know, it's crazy, but yeah, they're paring back too. Like even the anime, like I'm hearing the anime is kind of taking a hit now too. There's just a lot of it. There's a lot of content out there. Let's see here. What else we got? Let's get some other news here. Man, I've talked about like 2 topics, and I see why these live streams go for freaking 6 hours. Because let's see here. Oh, here we go, guys. There you go. If you need to cope, Steve from Blue's Clues is going to do an adult version of Blue's Clues called Alive with Steve Burns. So he will help you cope. He will help you adult. Actually, I think that's a good idea. I think that a lot of people right now are struggling with mental issues. And Steve, I think he's from Pittsburgh. I'm pretty sure he's from Pittsburgh. We all wear hats and glasses. It's just the dress code. But he's actually, everything I've heard about him is he's like one of the nicest guys in the world. So I don't want to go, dunking on Steve Burns here. But yeah, this is interesting stuff. They said he was the original host of Blue's Clues. He revealed his new podcast, Alive, is already being described as Blue's Clues for adults. He departed in 2002 because he was losing his hair and he wanted to join a rock band, I guess is what happened. That's the story I heard. And he went viral in 2021 with a video message to fans during the pandemic, thanking them for growing up and offering reassurance. Since then, Burns has appeared in multiple Blue's Clues revival projects, including the movie, which I forgot about. He released albums in collaboration with members of the Flaming Lips. Really? And he made acting appearances. But yeah, so he's doing the podcast. I'm sure that'll actually do really well. Like that's actually a good use of a podcast. Some of these are like, who is talking about what? Like I've never heard of this person, and I don't care what they're talking about. I really don't. Let's see here, man. Hold on. All right, here we go. I'm sorry. I'm really not good at the podcast I'm not good at the podcast thing. I'm not good at a lot of things, guys. I'm going to be honest. I'm just not good at a lot of things. I'm not good at the live streams. Thank you very much. Turn Revive says on YouTube shit list. So using an alt account. It doesn't take much. I wanted to apologize 5 years ago. Okay. I commented that your black and white avatar looked like a rip from Fillmore. It did. Everybody thought I was a black dude. A month later, you colorized the avatar. Sorry. Oh, that's okay. You don't have to apologize at all. Actually, no. I think I think a lot of people saw that because everybody for the longest time thought I was black. That was like the joke. They thought I was a black dude. Because of the avatar, because it looked like Fillmore. That was a good show though. So I'm not offended at all, but thank you very much. I'm glad you stuck with us for 5 years. God, why would anybody stick with us for 5 years? Here we go. Corruption point. Thank you. People who say you will be replaced are horrible, but there are people that say if you use AI, you should off yourself on X. Yeah, no, that's true. That's what I'm talking about. This polarization is ridiculous. I mean, I think it's just, again, not to harp on the AI thing, but I think it's inevitable. It's here. You need to decide whether you want to work with it or not. There are people that still, paint with like real paint and draw with like real markers, and they don't use Photoshop. And I think eventually it'll kind of all level out, and it will find its place. I think right now, I think it's being massively overused for sure. And I think that the cart is getting away from the horse, but I think eventually we'll realize like, okay, this is what AI works for, and this is not what it works for. But at that point, a lot of these companies, to save a quick buck, will have already fired all the people that probably could have made the AI work a lot better. But they got rid of them trying to save money, and then they'll have to like hire them back. And at that point I wouldn't go back. I'd be like, oh no, piss off, man. You fired me. That's it. AL's here. AL. Yeah. I like Steve Burns too. I think he's a good guy. So I don't want to make fun of, that's like making fun of Mr. Rogers. I'm just like taking all my news from Deserto, I guess. Sure. Japanese company lets you rent a scary person to intimidate strangers. There's a new movie coming out with Brendan Fraser, where he's like a family rental guy or something. Like you rent him, rent a family, rent a friend, and it actually looks really, really good. And I can't remember what it's called, but I watched the trailer for it, and the trailer will make you cry. It looks really good. I think it comes out this weekend. All right, so what's this about? Okay, Japanese company is raising eyebrows for connecting customers to scary people they can rent to intimidate others or to scare off potential bullies. Oh, wow. That's what I can do. Oh, no, there it is. Rental family right there. There it is. That's it. Rental family. Like, does what it says on the tin. There we go. Japan is home to all manner of quirky businesses, from hotels staffed by robots to monster-themed cafes and more. But one newly founded rental service is drawing concerns from onlookers. In Japan, it's not unusual to come across services that let customers rent a person. For instance, the upcoming Brendan Fraser movie, Rental Family, looks really good. Watch the trailer. It looks really good. Sees the A-list star portray a struggling actor who's hired to play a stand-in role in customers' lives. It's based on real practices. The country boasts several businesses that let you rent people, such as an elderly person. For what? Or even a friend to do housework or provide companionship. So wait. You're going to rent a friend and you're going to put them to work, clean your house? That's crazy. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be friends very long with somebody if I said, hey, come over to my house. You can clean it for me. That sounds horrible. A newly formed people renting service, though, has decidedly less friendly vibes. Okay. The company, named Rental Kawahito, lets customers rent an intimidating looking person to help them seem unapproachable. Okay. The business's name is a combination of the words scary and person. But rather than Halloween scare actors, they're essentially offering up folks who look like they could be in the YAKUZA. Holy shit. Oh, I need to do that. Like, next time I go to a convention, I'm going to hire one of these guys. And be like, yeah, I got the YAKUZA here. True story. This is another one of my side stories. I don't know if I talked about this before. Yeah, there we go. Lucas, rent a YAKUZA. Yeah, there you go. What are friends for? To eat your food. I think that's what they're for. So this is a true story. My mom, I guess I can say, I think the statute of limitations is up. I think I've talked about it in a video before. So I grew up around the mob. Like literally, I just didn't know I was growing up around the mob. And my mom used to run guns for the mafia. I had a very interesting childhood. She's a single mom. And I thought we had a lot more money than we should have. Didn't find out until years later, like, yeah, remember that car and all those trips to New Jersey? It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Sounds Irish. What the fuck? Yeah, no, it's true. So yeah, I found out years later, my mom was like, oh yeah, I used to run guns for the mob. I was like, oh, really? It's like, yeah, and my boyfriend, he was Italian and they were connected to one of the crime families in Jersey. Yeah, so that was... that was my childhood. It was very interesting. Like, you seriously could have made a movie or something on my childhood. It was wild. Yeah, your mom was Sarah Connor. Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, my dad was out of the picture. Mom ran guns for the mafia. Married my stepdad. His family's from Mexico. Moved to California. Had adventures in California. Moved back to Pennsylvania. Have adventures in Pennsylvania. And then I'm just kind of parking it here in middle age. Like, I don't really care. But yeah. So that was my childhood. Very East Coast. Yeah, it was very East Coast. Kneon Capone. Yeah. So I also got a lot of fights when I was a kid. But they were fist fights, not gun fights. So it wasn't that exciting. Anyway, uncle was a no, my uncle actually was in the mob too. He passed away. Well, he wasn't in the mob. He was adjacent. But anyway, I do not have connections. And I found this out years later. I was like, well, that explains why we had all this money. I don't know where it came from. Why we had like wads of cash laying around the house. I didn't know where it came from. Who knew? Anyway, statute of limitations. It's up. So yeah, you can rent a YAKUZA. That's cool. All right. So the website even suggests using their services to help intimidate people to whom you've loaned money to pay you back without having to take the matter to small claims court. Yeah, it saves money. It's probably cheaper, right? Just rent a YAKUZA. Another scenario, the company says there are scary people could be useful for a woman confronting the person her boyfriend has been cheating with to get them to back off. Shockingly, with everything going on right now with women being attacked in cities, might not be a bad idea to take a YAKUZA with you, you know? Growing up struggles. Yeah. Is it a good day? Well, thank you for watching. Kneon lore grows deeper. Yeah, my kids are always shocked. I've lived a very full life, and they're always shocked. They're like, wait, you know so-and-so, and you did this, and you did that? I'm like, yeah. And my wife's like, yeah, he did. And it's like every time, like, something always reminds me. I'm like Cup from Transformers. Like, something always reminds me of something else. I'm like, oh, yeah, by the way, I know that person, and this is what happened. So Sora News 24 reported concerns from onlookers that such a service feels like hiring the mob and possibly even skirts the law. Is this legal? Is it? I mean, look, just having a guy hang around, I mean, it's no different than hiring a bodyguard, right? They're pretty blasé about intimidation being their method of choice, but did anyone there do a legal compliance check on that? Identifying information about the company's whereabouts and registration were scarce. Maybe they're actual YAKUZA. Maybe they're trying to just, I don't know. In August, the business's website posted a message saying their services had ended due to various circumstances. Yeah. The guy who put the listings died mysteriously. They found him in the river. It's unclear if the law caught up to them or if they finally thought better and trying to skirt the legal system. I don't know. Is it illegal to just like rent a thug? If I quit YouTube, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rent a thug. That sounds like a solid plan, right? That's when Cup doesn't have a story. Yeah, you should be worried. Anyway, that is true. Roblox is adding official age ratings to games. Yeah, I think we talked about that. Some of the games are going to be 18 plus. Guy who tried to fight Nintendo piracy lawsuit without a lawyer is going to have to pay $2 million. Ryan Daly, who originally denied the charges, can never touch modding equipment again. Okay. Let's see here. This comes from Kotaku, which Kotaku, look, it's still Kotaku, but I think they kind of cleaned up their act a little bit since they got bought. Nintendo's war against modders and ROM distributors has seen some brutal takedowns over the years, dishing out extraordinary punishments against those who make it possible for people to pirate Nintendo games. The latest to fall afoul of the Japanese behemoth is Ryan Daly, who for the longest time looked like he was attempting an incredibly optimistic and clearly naive attempt to fight back. That's over now as the MiG Switch modder has settled for $2 million in an agreement to never touch a mod again in his life. Never touch that stuff again. You'll go blind. Did you see the video we posted yesterday about somebody selling bootleg Nintendo? I think they were the NES classics, the mini classics on Amazon for like 7 years. And they shut the guy down. He sold like $2 million worth of these obviously fake Nintendo consoles with 600 games. Ryan Homebrew Homie, that's his name, Ryan Homebrew Homie Daly, had run Modded Hardware, a site that sold modded Switches, able to install homebrew or pirated versions of Switch games, and sold the tools with which others could do the same. Notch told us that you can't pirate games if you don't own them. It's not stealing. I'm just telling you what he said. I have a Switch too. I am underwhelmed with it. I'm massively underwhelmed with it. It makes my Switch 1 games look worse. And I don't play it. I still go back to my Switch 1 because I'm like, I want Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered to look good and not be all blurry. It'll get better. Whatever. I don't like the idea that I don't really own the games either. So I just bought it because everybody's like, well, you can't talk about the Switch unless you actually own the Switch 2. It's like, fine, bitch. I own the Switch 2 now. Now I can bitch about Nintendo all I want to because I bought the fucking console. Okay, shut up. Nintendo also claimed the site would return Switches with pirated games pre-installed. Back in March 2024, Nintendo threatened to sue him over the site, and the two parties agreed that he would stop his naughty behavior and the whole thing would go away. Daly said he would, and then he didn't. So in June, Nintendo went to court. Well, that's it. If you said, "Hey, I'm not gonna mod your shit anymore, Nintendo," and then you turn around and you do it anyway, that's a you thing. That is 100%. That's on you. Daly continued to make surprising choices. Rather than rush to settle, the entrepreneur instead opted to respond to the complaint, denying all wrongdoing. And even more wildly, did this without the advice of any lawyers. Well, he's Ryan Homebrew Homie Daly. He don't have to listen to anybody. He even denied being responsible for the modded hardware business. As reported by Torrent Freak, Daly's response wasn't exactly stunning legal work. He essentially quoted the accusations and wrote answer denied underneath them. I have to admire his moxie. That guy, if I start Rent-A-Thug, he's working for me. You work for me now. You work for me now. That's all I'm saying. He added affirmative defenses of the very things he was saying he didn't do. Defenses which include fair use. Fair use. Oh my God, this is right up there with the AI people. It's okay to sell bootleg merch in Artist Alley because it's fair use. And even accused Nintendo of a lack of unclean hands, a legal doctrine that suggests Nintendo had acted unethically or dishonestly. Well, I think when it comes to their game cards, they are. Surprisingly enough, this didn't work out so well this weekend, the Seattle District Court released the details of a settlement, which Daly agrees to pay Nintendo $2 million, as well as hand over the URL of his site, and even agrees to the seizure of all his technology that might contain the means of infringing the agreement. A guy like this isn't going to stop. He's not going to stop. I'm sorry, Nintendo. You have nothing for me. Freaking baby games. Yeah, pretty much. That could be his defense. He could just be like, "Hey, it's all kids stuff. I can steal that." Remember V-Smile? Does anybody remember that? A kids console. Squid King had one of those. Saw one at a thrift store for like $15. I almost picked it up. Anyway, it comes with the most astonishingly strict list of requirements based on what Daly is and isn't allowed to do for the rest of his life, which goes on for pages and pretty much amounts to never touching another MIG switch or modding tool as long as he lives. Whether Daly can afford to pay the $2 million is largely irrelevant to Nintendo. The company gleefully bankrupted Gary Bowser over his association with a ROM selling site in 2021 with a $10 million ruling the man will never be able to pay off, along with a gruesome 40-month prison sentence. Yeah, that's overkill. Like, Nintendo doesn't, I mean, I get it. I get you have to protect your IP, but damn, dude. Like, they're just making examples of these guys. But when you're also like, piss off Mario, I mean, you want to talk about the mob. Mario's kind of in the mob there, I think. All right, let's see what else we got here, guys. Man, you guys are like, quit being awesome. Okay, we had AI. Here we go. This I'm not too sure about. Andrew Rowland says, what are your thoughts on global comics print? GC and Comics Wellspring are partnering up to print comics that people buy from small comic companies and indie creators. I think it's fantastic. I haven't looked into it. That actually sounds like a good idea. Kind of reminds me of, I guess, like Amazon Create Space. Like I'm starting to wonder too, like, going forward, if it's not better just to do print on demand for comics, given that you're probably, even if you crowdfund, you're looking at a run of like, maybe 1,000, 2,000 books for most people, if not less than that. So like, does it really benefit you to do like a big commercial print run? You might be better off just being like, fine, you want to print comic, just, print on demand. Boom. There you go. I don't have to deal with it. Don't have to ship it out myself. I don't know. That's interesting. I'll have to look into that. Thank you. Archer says, studios are suing for AI, but isn't it too late? I think it is. I think they already scraped everything. DeviantArt, apparently they were scraping for a year or two before people caught on that they were scraping everything. And you had to opt out of it, but most people didn't know they could opt out of it or even what was going on. By the time people figured out what AI was capable of, it was already too late. It has ingested the entire internet at this point. And YouTube, like with their VO, Google, they have 20 plus years of YouTube content that they've been feeding it the whole time. So, you can opt out now, but it's already eaten everything. It's like, what are you supposed to do? Hey, Galactus ate my planet. I'm just going to opt out of that. I don't want you to eat my planet again. So I'm going to have to go here pretty soon. What else we got here? We'll get another story or two in here. Richard says Nintendo's only pissing off their customers. Yeah. Use the Rip-A-Verse model. We actually do have a shipping facility here. We're trying to get our ducks in a row. I'm just trying to figure out, like, after we get caught up on everything, you know, like what to do going forward, because it is kind of a weird, because Diamond blew up. I was actually going to start getting our stuff in the Diamond, and then Diamond just like died, you know? So it's like, I don't know that I'll have to figure something else out. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I had all kinds of crazy stuff pulled up, and I don't have time to talk about it because we got talking about other things. So, oh, this is kind of interesting though. They were gonna get rid of D&D in Brazil, and D&D is huge in Brazil. And now they've partnered with another company, and I guess it's because the import fees are so high in Brazil, it doesn't pay Hasbro to do it. But they have another company now. I just saw this the other day, and yeah. So this is Wizards of the Coast has announced a new partnership with Galapagos Jugos. I don't speak Portuguese. A Brazilian-based game company and subsidiary of Asmodee. Oh boy, what could possibly go wrong? Galapagos will now translate and distribute D&D products in Brazil, including the new 2024 rules set. Oh boy. Yeah, actually D&D is huge in Brazil. Let's see here. Andrew says, oh, I'm my own comic series on Global Comics. Okay, there we go. Global Comics, King of Justice by XP Comics. Check it out, guys. But yeah, D&D is huge in Brazil, so it was kind of a weird decision to not bring it to Brazil. They didn't want to spend the money on it. I think eventually what's going to happen though is Hasbro is just going to outsource all of it. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It really does not make sense to have, you know, for a company like Hasbro to print the books and stuff, and you can tell they're just kind of phoning it in now anyway. So where are all the AI people? Because all the D&D stuff now, all the Magic stuff's being done with AI. But it's good. I guess you're getting your 2024 D&D if you want that. I don't want that, but if you want that, you're getting it. If you want wheelchairs that can climb up stairs to fight vampires in, you can pick up these books in Brazil. They're talking they might bring back Dark Sun, and I don't want that at all. I think that's a terrible idea. For those of you who don't know what Dark Sun is, D&D, it's basically Mad Max meets Dungeons and Dragons, and magic has destroyed the world, and it's a wasteland, and slavery is front and center, and I guarantee you they will nerf that. We can't have that. Yeah, Hasbro is not even a toy company anymore. It really isn't. Let's see here, guys. I pray it never ends where you want it to end. Okay. Well, there we go, guys. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I have so much. Oh, no. Here. Okay, never mind. Here, I'm going to wrap it up with this since we're talking about AI. Okay, here we go. I was going to talk about this whole thing. We didn't do a video on it. Tom Brevoort and the Pandora's box of AI, he basically said that, like, yeah, pretty much what I've been saying. That, it's kind of inevitable. And this is a guy who I definitely would consider more on the left. This is a guy who has ruined X-Men, but whatever. He's been with Marvel for a long time. And he's even like, he said, yeah, the problem is the threat to livelihoods of workers in the creative industries like myself lies not in the tool itself, but in corporations' willingness to embrace the technology at the expense of human labor and creativity. Yes. Okay, this is Matthew Schofield. Okay, so he said this in response. He said it was disappointing and admittedly triggering to see Tom Brevoort, a longtime Marvel editor working in a creative field that is under threat from the adoption of AI technology. He as an executive at the company, he's realizing that at some point in time, Disney is going to tell him to use it to save money. I can guarantee. Disney's creating an entire new division for AI. I could guarantee you, especially with the comic books not selling as well as they used to, they're going to go to Tom Brevoort and be like, so you know anybody who can do some good AI comics and we can pay you like a third as much as we're paying these other guys because we're not breaking even. And they're going to be like, yes, Mr. Brevoort, if you'd like to keep your job, you're going to cut some corners. I can almost guarantee it. Yeah. So what did he actually say then? Okay. That column. Okay. Looked yesterday. Tom Brevoort said AI is pretty fun to use. and believes stopping its spread is futile. Well, he's correct. He's been doing this for like 30 years. He knows. Marvel avoids AI-generated work to retain copyright ownership, not for moral reasons. Well, that's really the only thing that's stopping a lot of these companies, right? They're like, oh, do we own it? As soon as that gets cleared up, then you're going to see a lot of AI comics. But the thing is, I think for copyright, as long as there's a human component, like if you're using it as an inking tool or something like that, I don't see where there's a problem. So I don't really agree with either. It's like, well, there's copyright issue because it's learning from other people's art. I'm like, well, it's art salad at that point. It might be like, this is 2% this guy and 5% that guy, and I don't know. But it's interesting to see Tom Brevoort from Marvel actually being like, yeah, it's kind of here, guys. There's not much you can do about it. Yeah, Richard says it's a tool. You can use it for good and bad. When you get a corporation involved, what the problem is that, and they are correct in that regard, that the corporation is going to cut corners wherever they can, and that's the only real concern I have about it, is because I don't believe people are like, oh my God, AI is sentient, and it's not. It's just really fancy computing. But corporations are going to cut jobs that they should not cut, because they're like, oh yeah, we can save all kinds of money. Then they'll have to turn around and hire people back, and at that point they're going to be so pissed off that they won't go back. I wouldn't go back. Anyway, let's see here. We have one more. Then I'm definitely going to go. I got to go. Lightning Sketch Productions, thank you very much. There's a 50-50 chance that the upcoming Hexed movie will be a blend of 2D and 3D, like Into the Spider-Verse. That would be pretty cool. Hexed is the new Disney movie, and I know the Owl House fans are like really super angry about it. Like they're really mad about it. Because they're like, oh no, you're doing another witch movie. It looks just like our witch movie. No, that'd be cool if they did that. That really would be cool. I like that style. They kind of did something kind of stop motion thing with K-pop Demon Hunters too. And I thought that was a really cool look. And Spider-Verse, I mean, regardless of what you think of it, or regardless of, if you don't like Miles Morales or whatever, visually, it was one of the most interesting animated movies of the last decade or two. It was very, very cool. It looked very, very cool. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I really do thank you for watching. I didn't know if anybody was going to watch, but I'm thinking I want to do this at least a couple times a week. Maybe I wanted to turn it into a morning show, like do it in the mornings, like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, because not a lot of other people are streaming. And also I can, drink my bad coffee and, muse about the internet. But you let me know if you want more live streams, and we will accommodate if you guys do, if you're willing to watch. Thank you so much, everybody. I really do appreciate that. We'll get geeky on here at some point, and be sure to check out news.clownfishtv.com for notifications, because YouTube is not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you if we're uploading videos. They're really bad about that now, and apparently, like, we didn't pass the whatever AI age verification thing. So make sure that you go out there. You don't have to pay for that. Just sign up as a regular subscriber, and when we post new videos, you'll get an email. So you might get a couple of those a day, but that will definitely help you stay on top of whether or not we are posting content, which we are. You're just not seeing it. Thank you a bunch, guys. I really appreciate it. I skipped oh no, too many chats. I didn't mean to skip all your chats. Wait, did I miss people's super chats? Wait, hold on. Who did I miss? Tell me in the comments. Who did I miss? I missed somebody. Hold on. Okay, I've been getting my subscriber notifications. Okay, that's good. I saw it. Hold on. I don't want to miss anybody. Okay, did I miss anybody? Let me see here. Okay, Lightning Sketch Productions. We did that. Up, here we go. He skipped mine too. Follow up. Oh. Okay, thanks, Kneon. Email him. Did somebody... Cashelaire, great live stream. Literally stop watching. Jump over here. Okay. Well, I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Oh, there's a $20 one. Oh my God, I don't want to miss that. Okay, who did I miss? told you I'm not good at this. Okay, I did that one. Did that one. Did that one. Did that one. Oh no, I don't see it on. It's on my auto star super chat thing. Hold on. Oh. No, that's not it either. Andrew Rowan. Okay. Archer. Man, does this thing not work? I am not good. I'm telling you guys, I am not good at live streaming. I don't know. Did I get that one? All the ones that are auto start, I got. Let me make sure I didn't. Okay. Who? Dominic Serena. Look at his message. This one. This one? Do a video covering the AI James debacle with Dragon Con. Your video is outdated. Okay, is that Mulligan or is that the Dragon Con? Because they're two different artists. Where's the $20 one? Can somebody copy paste the? Yeah, I know I'm having a boomer moment. No, actually, I'm looking in the start and it's not showing up. Let me see here if I can go into live and look for super chats because it's not showing up in the starred section at all, which is so weird. Tell you what, I'm going to assume you are correct, and if somebody, whatever the message was, if you could just post it in the regular chat, I will read it. I don't see it, but I will read your message anyway. Whoever I missed. And then I'm gonna go because I gotta go. So let's see here. Which G1 Transformers? I don't know. I think I have all the mini bots. And this is not even close to my real collections at my house. But I've got, let's see, Hot Rod. I got a lot of the movie ones. So I have Starscream, Skywarp. I got the Insecticons. I got Hound. All the mini bots, Perceptor, Blaster, Soundwave somewhere. That's a Masterpiece Prime. That's the Talking Voltron. Those, on the wall, one's a Wheeljack, Abominus, Reflector, yeah. Hot Rod. I've got multiple Mitten Box Hot Rods. I love Hot Rod. I hate his personality, but I like the design, and I got a bunch at home too. Okay. Great skin you have on your SM7 too. Oh yeah, no, actually my daughter made these. She made one for me and one for Geeky, and mine's the Transformers, and then Geeky has She-Ra. She has the old She-Ra logo, which is actually pretty cool. She made them for Christmas one year. Scrooge McDuck. I worked on Scrooge McDuck comics for years. I probably have done more Scrooge McDuck. Okay. Well, I missed it. I missed one. I don't know whose email I missed. Dominic Sarah, look at his message. Is that who it was? Oh, here we go. Is this it? Is this your message? Is this the super chat I missed? Inkwell's YouTube covered some Dragon Con scales with AI. He's also an official Lorcana artist and attended Dragon Con himself during the debacle. I should look further. Okay. Well, I'll look into it. I'll see what's going on. I mean, if the guy did what they accused him of, James guy has not been wrongfully blacklisted. Turns out new info has surfaced. He is not an example of wrongful accusation. You need to clarify. Well, if I need to, I'll look into it. I'll look into it and I'll see if I need to. But yeah, appreciate you pointing that out. Okay, now we're gonna go. Guys. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And subscribe again, news.clownfishtv.com, and also go out to any podcast app. You can listen to the audio version. Those are updated as well. Again, I don't trust YouTube. So, and you should neither. Thanks very much, guys. We'll talk later.